Welcome everyone to our International Day of Peace event. Before we begin, we wish to acknowledge that the land on which we gather today is Treaty 6 territory and a traditional meeting ground for the home of many, including Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, and other indigenous peoples.
Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. On behalf of LINGAP-Canada, I'm very pleased to welcome everyone to this celebration of the International Day of Peace. In 1989, the United Nations General Assembly declared September 21st as a day of global ceasefire and nonviolence. But since 1989, this day is celebrated not just in terms of ending wars and armed conflicts. Yes, all wars must end. It is a day to remind all nations that their peoples must live in dignity and all their basic needs met. And so LINGAP-Canada is celebrating this year's International Year of Peace with a unique arts event supported by the Alberta Culture Days program of the province of Alberta, Canada. And with the support of our honorary co-sponsors, the Congress of Philippine Associations Alberta, and the Canadian Filipino-Saranae Association of Alberta. In this event, LINGAP-Canada is hosting a video concert where we have brought together individuals and members of communities and associations to perform songs and music related to the theme of peace. And so without further ado, let us listen to and be inspired by the songs and music of building a culture of peace.
Welcome again to LINGAP-Canada's International Day of Peace concert. Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, and magandang gabi. Good morning, afternoon, and good evening. From Edmonton, the capital city of Alberta in Canada. My name is Cawagas, and it gives me great joy to be your MC for this event, where you will hear many songs and instrumentals on the many themes of building a peaceful world. The talented singers and musicians come from Alberta, Toronto, and all the way from the Philippines. We begin our concert with an inspirational hymn. Although it has its roots in Christian traditions, it is well known among people of diverse cultures. It highlights peace and loving all people, not hating, but forgiving, not despairing, but being hopeful. Here is the prayer of St. Francis by the Canticle Choir, directed by Teresa Ramos. Our next song calls out urgently to end all wars. It dreams of a day when innocent children can play freely and safely. To sing One Day, we welcome two music students of Artist House Studio, Lauren and Emmanuel Lizada.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, as I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but never let it get me down. So I never get a teeth surround. I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. Then no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving through the water, stay raging. In this maze, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way. Said the way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this will all change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, put it down with the hate. One day we'll be free and proud to be under the same sun, sing songs of freedom like way on.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. That's it.
In the mountain provinces of the northern Philippines, the Igorot people have lived for thousands of years in harmony with Mother Earth. Let us listen to the gentle song Bebsat San Kaigorotan by our first guest performer, the Igorot priest, Father Samuel Maximo. His words speak of defending indigenous cultures, wisdom, spirituality, and protecting their sacred lands.
Bebsat san kaigorotan Nilaylaya din kabunyan Manipud pa'y langsin kaisan Babaan din kaapuan Si kabunyan inted na hanggaling Pakailasin ang di puli Yan susuro
Our next song is a Filipino classic, which reminds us that true love is an expression of personal and interpersonal peace. To play Dahil Sa'yo, or in English Because of You, composed by Mike Velarde, arranged by Raul Sunico, we welcome our new guest performer, the Filipino-American classical pianist Anton Achondoa. We now invite to give us another message of peace Mr. June Angeles, the President of COPA, the Congress of Philippine Association of Alberta. COPA is the umbrella organization of many Filipino-Albertan associations. It is also an honorary co-sponsor of this International Day of Peace celebration.
On behalf of the Congress of the Philippine Associations of Alberta, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I am very pleased to give a message of peace in this celebration of the International Day of Peace, organized by LINGAP-Canada and co-sponsored by COPA. Living in a peaceful world is an aspiration shared by billions of people of goodwill who cherish the values of nonviolence, love, compassion, justice, respect, human rights, and caring for one another and our environment. Some members of the associations belonging to COPA have experienced the suffering and pain of wars and armed conflicts. It is their heartfelt hope that our children, grandchildren, and future generation will grow up in a world free of wars. But even when there are no wars, we cannot say that we live in a peaceful world. We know that millions of families around the world remain hungry, lacking decent shelter, healthcare, and social services. Hence, on this International Day of Peace, we also hope that all nations will work hard to ensure that all their citizens will have enough food, income, and other basic necessities. The COVID-19 pandemic has also brought enormous suffering throughout the world, including Canada and especially the Philippines. In order to overcome this pandemic, individuals, organizations, and government have to cooperate and share the skills, capacities, and precious resources. Finally, COPA members also share the global concerns over the worsening environment problem of climate change. So as this International Day of Peace, we also call on everybody to take good care of our environment. Let there be peace on earth. Naway magkaroon tayo ng kapayapaan sa mundo. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
In a peaceful world, surely there should be no bombs or guns that nations or groups use to fight and kill each other. In a peaceful world, no one should go hungry and everyone should live in a beautiful environment. This vision is embraced in the song From a Distance, sung by Abigail Mendoza from the Academy of Health Services.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have love, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, and no disease, and no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we
Our next song calls for human beings to join hands in building a nation and a world based on freedom, social justice, and human rights. A world where children can grow up free from hunger and suffering. To sing Isang Bansa para sa mga bata, let us welcome Lyla Luciano from Migrante, Alberta.
Malalim ang mga sugat ng bayan kong liyan. Sumisigaw ang bawat puso, magkaahon sa talita. Anong lipunan itong lumilikha ng mga batang lubog sa hirap? Anong lipunan itong kumikitil sa buhay ng paslit? Ang kahirapan ng nagtutulak sa mga inang mga ibang bayan, kay rami ring kasabihan ang sa kanila'y naghihintay. Anong lipunan itong lumilikha ng mga batang walang magulang? Anong lipunan itong kumikitil sa buhay ng paslit? Sama-samang lilikhain isang bansang mapagkalinga. Sama-samang kukupin mga supling ng bayan. Isang lipunang malaya, isang lipunang pantay-pantay. Isang bansang malaya mula sa utos ng dayuhan. Isang bansa na nagsusulong ng hustisya at katarungan. Bawat lumilikha'y nakikinabang sa yamang kanyang likha. Umiiral ang kapayapaan, makataong kaunlaran. Sama-samang lilikhain isang bansang mapagkalinga. Sama-samang kukupin mga supling ng bayan. Isang lipunang malaya, isang lipunang pantay-pantay. Sama-sama, sama-sama, ikaw at ako. Isa ang ating layunin, isa ang pangarap. Sama-sama, sama-sama, ikaw at ako. Isa ang ating layunin, isa ang pangarap. Sama-sama, sama-sama, ikaw at ako. Isa ang ating layunin, isa ang pangarap. Sama-sama, sama-sama, ikaw at ako. Isa ang ating layunin, isa ang pangarap. Sama-sama, sama-sama, ikaw at ako.
We all sometimes feel despair and are unable to express our own self-identity. When this happens, we are thankful to have friends and loved ones who can cheer us with love and care. As the very popular song says, we need not be afraid to show our true colors. Here are the singers from the Karilagan Dance Society, directed by Elmina Coachinco.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged the darkness inside you can make you feel so small.
But I see your true colors shining through.
I see your true colors, and that's why I love you so. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Show me a smile. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there.
But I see
Your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you so. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy, you've taken all you can bear. You call me up because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you so. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you so. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Another honorary co-sponsor of this International Day of Peace celebration is the Filipino-Canadian Saranay Association of Alberta. We welcome a message of peace from the President of Saranay, Mr. Cesar Daos.
Message for the International Day of Peace celebration, sponsored by LINGAP-Canada. Co-sponsored by COPAA and Filipino-Canadian Saranay Association of Alberta. My name is Cesar Daos, President, Filipino-Canadian Saranay Association of Alberta. On behalf of the Filipino-Canadian Saranay Association of Alberta, I join the millions of people worldwide in celebrating the International Day of Peace on September 21st. We believe that in a peaceful world, there should no wars and armed violence. However, we also believe that peaceful relations among people and nations also requires understanding and respect for the diversity of cultures, as well as compassion for one another. For over 40 years, Saranay has tried to promote these values that foster peace locally and internationally. We have encouraged Filipino-Canadian youth and adult to maintain their cultural heritage through the traditional rondalia string orchestra in our dance and choral groups. Our Filipino language and culture school has helped our youth and people of other ethnic groups to learn Tagalog and gain a deeper understanding of Filipino culture. Soranay has also supported scholarship in Southeast Asian studies at the University of Alberta. Peace also means justice and human rights. So we have been an assertive voice and advocate of many victims of caregiver programs and human trafficking. We are thankful for the opportunity to collaborate with LINGAP-Canada and many Filipino-Canadians and our Filipino sisters and brothers in the Philippines in celebrating this year's International Year of Peace. Let there be peace on earth. Naway makaroon ng kapayapaan sa mundo. Thank you.
Our next guest performance features musicians playing the traditional Filipino instruments of the Rondalia Orchestra. Today they will perform the very popular song, Pilipinas Kong Mahal. While it calls on people to be patriotic, love of one's nation should always mean loving fellow citizens and struggling together to defend human rights and the environment. Here is the Soranay Rondalia Orchestra, co-directed by Mike Lopez and Emma Araha. The environmental crisis facing humanity needs to be urgently resolved. We need to live in peace with our Mother Earth. The next song expresses this vision in the metaphorical land scarred by pollution, loss of biodiversity, and people living on garbage mountains. To sing Paraiso, we welcome Hannah Adamson from the Philippine Arts Council, directed by Ida Lucila.
We turn to a land called Paraiso, a place where a dying river ends. No birds dare fly over Paraiso. No space allows them to endure the smoke that screens the air, the grass that's never there. And if I could see a single bird, what a joy. I'd try to write some words and create a simple song to be heard by the rest of the world. I live in this land called Paraiso, in a house made of cardboard floors and walls. I learned to be free in Paraiso, free to claim anything I see, matching rags for my clothes, plastic bags for the cold. And if empty cans were all I had, what a joy. I never fight to take someone else's coins and leave with fear like the rest of the boys. Paraiso, help me make a stand. Paraiso, take me by the hand. Paraiso, make the world understand that if I could see a single bird, what a joy this tired and hungry land could expect. Some truth and hope and respect from the rest of the world. And if empty cans were all I have, what a joy. I never fight to take someone else's coins and live with fear like the rest of the boys. Paraiso, help me make a stand. Paraiso, take me by the hand. Paraiso, make the world understand that if I could see a single bird, what a joy this tired and hungry land could expect. Some truth and hope and respect from the rest of the world. Paraiso, help me make a stand. Paraiso, take me by the hand. Paraiso, make the world understand that if I could see a single bird, what a joy this tired and hungry land could expect. Some truth and hope and respect from the rest. And if I could see a single bird, what a joy this tired and hungry land could expect. Some truth and hope and respect from the rest of the world.
The songs Bayan Ko and Ako Ay Filipino both remind us of our responsibilities to be active citizens, ready to love our nations by promoting human rights, compassion, social justice, and defending democracy. Even a caged bird yearns to be free, says one line in Bayan Ko. Let us listen to a medley of Bayan Ko and Ako Ay Filipino sung by the Filipino Senior Citizens Association, also known as FCSA, directed by Inday Toledo.
ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ang ginto't bulaklak, pag-ibig na sa kanyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda't dilat, at sa kanyang yumi at ganda, dayuhan ay na alina, bayan ko binihag ka, nasadlak sa dusa. Iyon man may layang lumikha, tulungin mo at umiiyak, bayan pa kayang sakdal nila, ang himag na sang makaalpas, Pilipinas ko
The next song expresses the personal peace sentiment of unending love across long distances. However, its deeper meaning implies that genuine love of one's country requires seeking freedom and helping others to gain their freedoms. To sing Walang Hanggang Paalam are two guest performers from the Philippines, Chie Floresca and Raz de la Torre.
Di ba tayo'y narito upang maging malaya at upang palayain ang iba? Ako'y walang hinihiling, ika'y tila gayon din, sadya'y bigyang laya ang isa't isa.
Ang pag-ibig natin ay walang hanggang paalam, at habang magkalayo, papalapit pa rin ang puso. Kahit na magkahiwalay, tayo'y magkasama sa magkabilang dulo ng mundo. Bawat simula ay siya rin katapusan. May patutunguhan ba ang ating pagsinta?
Sa biglang tingin kita'y walang kinabukasan, subalit di malupig ang pag-asa. Ang pag-ibig natin ay walang hanggang paalam, at habang magkalayo, papalapit pa rin ang puso. Kahit na magkahiwalay, tayo'y magkasama sa magkabilang dulo ng mundo. Ang pag-ibig natin ay walang hanggang paalam, at habang magkalayo, papalapit pa rin ang puso. Kahit na magkahiwalay, tayo'y magkasama sa magkabilang dulo ng mundo. Sa magkabilang dulo ng mundo.
For our next message of peace, let us welcome local Indigenous leader Ms. Bernadette Aitale, founder and executive director of the Creating Hope Society.
Tanse, my name is Bernadette Aitale, and I was born in Ottawa, Piscat, James Bay. I am a Musqueam Cree from Treaty 9 in Northern Ontario, Turtle Island. Over the past year and a half, COVID-19 has affected the world. So many of my multicultural brothers and sisters have experienced racism and discrimination. But my stand is racism does not belong in this world. A word that comes to mind is kindness. As an Indigenous woman, I invite you to the call to action to be kind, peaceful, embrace belonging, inclusion, reconciliation, and diversity, and be an excellent role model to protect our children and the next 7 generations to come. Only together can we build a better tomorrow and create opportunities for allyship and friendship. So never be afraid of saying hello to the person standing next to you. Thank you, Lingap, celebrating Canada's International Day of Peace. Hi, hi.
Indigenous peoples worldwide are speaking out for their rights for justice and freedoms. The next song, entitled Freedom, expresses the long-standing demands of Indigenous peoples worldwide, is originally composed and performed by Miss Anna Wilson, a doctoral student from the University of Alberta.
As the people sing their freedom song, the voice of the wind keeps holding on. His love echoes high, his sacrifice strong. The voice of freedom is where we belong. The sacred voice upon the reservation. The words of truth ignite a soul sensation. Loyal blood upon the promised land. Only the unselfish could understand. To forget oneself and the prophets to seek. The earth is a gift, I must become meek. The only way for one to survive is helping your neighbors, so stay alive. As the sun heats his blood within every vein, her words of truth rest in our souls to remain. He dances a prayer with love in her eye. The voice of freedom will never die.
Bathala in Filipino indigenous culture refers to the supreme being of creation. The song Bathala speaks of the abuse of nature by human beings and reminds all people to care for the environment. Here is a rendition of Bathala by our next guest performer, Ms. Tala Kamia Burkes from Toronto.
Likhain niyo ang bawat bagay sa mundo. Lubog kayo man gidlunti ang bukirin. Alat ng dagat at tamis ng hangin. Bathala ang bawat bagay na nagmula sa niyong palad ay may tungkulin sa mundong kinagisnan. Dito ang lahat ay tinitimbang. Ang tao, iyan yung hinugis at pinaahon sa lupa. Pinagkalooban ng talino at diwa upang mundo'y ipaglaban. Talino, laging araran at paan.
Our next song calls on people from diverse cultures to work together in solidarity to end wars and slavery and build a just relationship amongst all nations. To sing a pair of voices are the duet Edwin Chavez and Erwin Bodoso from the NGO Friends. Friends stands for Filipinos Rising for Inclusion and Equity to Nurture Democracy.
Listen to the voices of the little one who can mend the broken pieces of a long lost pride with a pair of voices on their side. Just a pair of voices of women and of men, of blacks and whites and races, of all shades in between. Just a pair of voices that say goodbye to slavery and make a kinds of choices that makes history. Of freedom, we shall find a way to be, and all the needed wisdom for all the wars to see. We can have what's ours, not on bended knees. No more superpowers and colonies. Just a pair of voices of women and of men, of blacks and whites and races, of all shades in between. Just a pair of voices that say goodbye to slavery, make a kinds of choices that change history. Are free as we take the chances, change the circumstances with a pair of voices, as in you and me.
In a peaceful world, both women and men should live together in justice and compassion. The next song upholds women's human rights and their empowerment to be treated with respect and dignity. Here is our next guest performer, sung by Johann Militar-Mella, singing I Will Survive.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking I could never live without you by my side. I'd spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walk in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed my stupid love. I should have made you leave your key. If I have known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Go now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. 'Cause you're not welcome anymore. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I stay alive. I got all my love to live, I got all my love to give. I will survive, I will survive. Yeah. It took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Kept trying to find the missing pieces of my broken heart. And I spent oh so many nights feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. And so you felt like dropping in, and you expect me to be free. Now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go, now go, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one to try to break me with goodbye? Think I'll crumble, you think I'll lay down and die? Oh no, I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, no, I stay alive. I've got all my love to give, I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Let us welcome now our next message of peace from Dr. Loretta Castro, founder and coordinator of the Peace Education Center of Miriam College, Philippines.
Dear friends from LINGAP-Canada, isang mapayapang bati sa inyong lahat. Greetings of peace to you all. My name is Loretta Castro, and I am the founding director of the Center for Peace Education of Miriam College, which is in the Philippines. I am happy to be a part of your celebration of the International Day of Peace. This year's theme is important to all of us. We certainly all look forward to a world that is more equitable and sustainable. And I know that we are one in this hope and aspiration. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, and I thank Swihin for inviting me to be a part of your celebration. Thank you.
To treat each other peacefully, one universally accepted principle is the Golden Rule. The next song, Lupa, embraces the principle and also invites us to be authentic and to hold freedom and respect. For this rendition of Lupa, we call on our guest performer, Jimmy Buena from Edmonton.
Nagmula sa lupa, mag-aalik na kusa ang buhay mo sa lupa, nagmula. Linisin yung kapwa, gasanang yung punin sa mukha. Ang di mo gusto magawin sa iba, kung ang iyong inutang ay siya dahil tayo ay lupa lamang. Kaya't Pilipinong ika'y magbago habang may panahong ika'y magbago. Pagmamahal sa kapwa ay isipin mo. Kung ano ang di mo gusto na gawin sa iba, kung ano ang iyong inutang, ay siya ring kabayaran. Sa iyo ang buhay ay mayroong hangganan dahil tayo ay lupa lamang. Kaya Pilipinong ika'y magbago habang may panahong ika'y magbago. Pagmamahal sa kapwa ay isipin mo. Kaya Pilipinong ika'y magbago habang may panahong ika'y magbago. Pagmamahal sa kapwa ay isipin mo.
Hawakamai means holding hands, and in this moving song, it calls on people to extend compassion for those facing struggles and hardships in life. Let us welcome Emma Sophia Pagtakhan.
Minsan ay darama mo, kaibigan, ng problema. Minsan nahihirapan ka, ang nasasabi, di ko na kaya. Tumingin ka lang sa langit, baka sakaling may mas umpungan, o di kaya ako'y tuwaagin. Malalaman mong kahit kailan hawak kamay, di kita iiwan sa paglakbay. Dito sa mundo walang katiyakan, hawak kamay, di kita bibitawan sa paglalakbay. Sa mundo ng kawalan, minsan madarama mo ang mundo'y gumuguho sa ilalim ng iyong
We now invite to give our fourth message of peace the director of the UN-based NGO Global Prevention of War and Armed Conflict, Dr. Robert Zuber.
Hello, everyone. I want to give thanks to LINGAP-Canada and to all of you who are keeping the flame of peace alive in these troubling times. We at Global Action in New York make it our business to engage with all parts of the UN system which we deem relevant to peacemaking. Now, this is a harder job than it might seem to some of you, as there is virtually no aspect of the UN's work that is not also relevant to peacemaking. Gender, climate, decent employment, sexual preference, biodiversity, weapons, indigenous persons, corruption, the well-being of children and displaced persons, even character development, though it is sometimes hard to find much of that within UN spaces. And culture as well. Not only the culture inside the UN itself, which continues to need a lot of work, but also the culture that fosters creativity and enriches lives, from our concert halls to our streets, giving expression to human aspiration, but also helping people to see more and better, to see differently as well, and also to feel that they're a part of something larger than themselves. After all, belonging is also essential to any sustainable peace. People like me who have been in this work a long time, as have many of you, tend to have one thing in common now: the notion that we haven't accomplished nearly all that we set out to accomplish when we started on this path. The condition of our world is declining in key aspects, and the implications for our young people are uncomfortable at best and grave at worst. My soul is often weary when thinking about this. I know that others are weary as well. But there is more to do while there is time to do it, more connection to make, more people with whom to dialogue, more places of participation to set up at the policy table, more young people to reassure and listen to, more culture to create and share. And so on this International Day, let us all pledge to stay the course, to resist the temptation to pull off the road as though our hearts and minds just can't take any more, can't tolerate any more disappointment, including the disappointment of young people who know that we could have and should have left them a safer, healthier, kinder world in which to live their own lives. I know that many of you participating in this LINGAP event will not give up the struggle, will not abandon your posts. We will endeavor here to do the same. The cause of peace is a long road, longer than we anticipated or imagined when we started, but it needs to be walked every step, every day. Thank you for staying on the path.
One of the most popular songs in the 90s was entitled Zombie, which spoke out against wars and armed conflict that killed innocent children, such as what was happening in Northern Ireland. Here is a rendition of Zombie by Apple Mendoza and Avery Mendoza from the Filipino-Canadian Serranoy Association.
I
bombs, and their bombs, and their guns. In your head, they are dying. In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Yeah, yeah, what's in your head?
Our next song expresses the personal peace we experience when looking into the eyes of a child, eyes filled with joy, laughter, and innocence. This message is, we must value all the rights of a child. To sing The Eyes of a Child, we have our final guest performer from the Philippines, Johann B. Aler.
Life's long hidden meaning, with the dreams and the plans laid in your news. There's nothing real to achieve, matched to one hidden feeling that lies so still and lives in you. In the eyes of a child, there is joy, there is laughter, there is hope, there is trust, a chance to shape the future. What a lessons of life. There is no better teacher than the look in the eyes of a child. You found the place to walk the path you've chosen. Never miss the world you've left behind. When life gives life, it's happiness unbroken. When you achieve love, it's love you'll find. In the eyes of a child, there is joy, there is laughter, there is hope, there is trust, a chance to shape the future. For the lessons of life, there is no better teacher than the look in the eyes of a child. a child. There is joy, there is laughter, there is hope, there is trust, a chance to shape the future for the lessons of life. There is no better teacher than to look in the eyes of a child, than to look in the eyes of a child, than to look in the eyes of a child.
For many people around the world, feeling a deep sense of personal or inner peace comes from cultivating their spirituality through their faith, religion, or other spiritual beliefs. This inner peace is expressed in the well-known liturgical song, Tanging Yaman. Let us now welcome the Edmonton-based choral group, Choral Filipino, directed by Artie Atienza. We have come to almost the end of our concert of song and music performed by so many people active in their local and national communities in Alberta, Canada, and the Philippines. There is one final song to be introduced soon by our president of LINGAP-Canada, Dr. To Sui Hen. Before I hand over the mic, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the viewers for taking the time to watch this concert today. Thank you all, and maraming salamat po.
This International Day of Peace celebration is coming almost to an end. We have one more song of peace, but before we listen to the final song, may I give my words of heartfelt appreciation and gratitude on behalf of LINGAP-Canada. We are most thankful to be supported by Alberta Culture Days, to be a part of the program, and to be among the many associations and groups that are showcasing the cultural talents of Albertans during September. Our thanks to honorary co-sponsors, the Congress of Philippine Associations of Alberta and the Filipino-Canadian Sarana Association for their support. To all our donors, we greatly appreciate their generous sponsorship of their prizes for the songs. To LINGAP-Canada board members and the organizing committee who spent countless hours in planning for this concert, my deep gratitude. A special thanks must go to Erica Cawagas for a skillful and patient technical and artistic production of the video program. Finally, this concert has been made possible only because of the creative energies, talents, and voluntary commitment of so many guest performers and individuals, duet trios, and choral groups. They sang or play music from their hearts to motivate all those who listen to build peace in their daily, personal, and social lives. Thanks also to the motivating messages of peace from our honorary co-sponsoring associations and peace builders from Alberta, the Philippines, and the international community. To all our guest performers and vocal participants, thank you so much. You have shown that music can be a wonderful and inspirational way of raising awareness of the urgent vision and mission of building a peaceful selves and a peaceful world, a world built on values, principles, and systems of nonviolence, social justice, human rights, intercultural respect, sustainable futures, and inner peace. And now to our final song, a well-known song that emerged during the movement to end wars in the 60s, a song that many viewers in this concert will probably know, namely Blowing in the Wind, composed and sung first by Bob Dylan. But it's a song that only reminds people not to be passive and indifferent to the sufferings of war. It is a message that calls on us to ask questions about other sufferings in our world today: hunger, injustice, human rights violations, and environmental destruction. And so to end this concert to celebrate the International Day of Peace in 2021, let us warmly welcome the Panaco Trio, Gerald, Martin, and Geraldine Panago, to share their rendition of Blowing in the Wind. Many thanks, maraming salamat po, keep safe, and together let us join hands, hearts, and spirit in building a peaceful world and Mother Earth.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned?
The answer, my friend,
is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
How many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years can some people exist
must a man look up before he can see the sky? And how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died?
The answer, my friend,
is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Everybody!
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.